Hey, DC Wright-Hammer here. As many of you know, it is tough being an indie author for a lot of reasons that I want to cover in this video. Primarily, you're probably not going to make much money, if any. A lot of people end up losing money doing it. So I want to talk a little bit about that, and then I will spend a little bit of time about why everyone or most people should be independent authors anyway. Check it out. So independent authors are put in an impossible situation. They have to write really good books on the one hand, but if they write exactly like mainstream, then why buy an independent author? Why not just go buy a mainstream book? But if you press the limits, break the rules too much, you're being avant-garde and you're trying too hard, and you're going to really have just a niche market, and that's going to make it difficult for you as well. Regardless of what you write, if you don't have a marketing plan and a marketing budget, it's going to be very difficult for you to find a market anyway, or readers in any capacity. Get them to read, get them to review, find the next readers, make the next sale, get the next review, so on and so forth, and repeat. Write the next book, plan the next, all of that goes into it. And so that's very difficult to do in and of itself, by itself, as an independent author, that you're responsible for everything or paying for everything to get done. And on top of that, we are competing with all of the other independent authors out there. That would be bad enough. We're also competing with the heavy hitters in the traditional publishing realm that have seemingly unlimited resources, even though they don't. But they do have marketing budgets, they have networking, they have ways of moving volumes of books and getting all kinds of reviews and things like that. It's not guaranteed that a traditional publisher puts something out, it's going to be a hit. We know that. They make bad books like everybody might make a bad book. However, when you have a ton of resources, you can really stack the deck in your favor, and you can make money on any kind of book in a lot of cases if you just have the right packaging, the right cover, the right marketing strategy. What's in it in some cases doesn't even matter. And the overwhelming majority of independent authors are working a day job. They're working a full-time, demanding job to have money rolling in, to put food on the table, to pay their bills, etc., etc. And so they're trying to juggle sort of two different lives. You get caught between two minds, no pun intended. That's the book I wrote. But it just really feels like you're being pulled. Do I continue to try to excel in my day job and make more money and inroads there? Do I pour more time, energy, money into being an independent author and hope that that takes off? What do I do? How do I figure this out? And why? Why would I pour time, effort, and money into writing? Especially, I want to write the story I want to write. I don't want to write to market. I don't want to write to readers. I want to tell the stories I want to tell. And there's a possibility, and it's a big one, that even if I did put some nominal amounts into marketing, that I'm not going to see return on that investment, that I won't make that money back in a reasonable amount of time to say that I've got return on investment, that I've got that ROI. So why put ourselves in this position? Why be independent authors? Why potentially, lose money on something that we may never, see the fruits of our labor as a result? So now that I've got all that cynicism out of my system, let me talk briefly about why you should be an independent author, continue to be an independent author, and write those books that you should write. And if you don't think you should write books, I believe most people should. I'll talk a little bit about that right now. So I recently moved and I had to get rid of some stuff. We had to junk some stuff. And so we had a junker come out, and he started telling me stories about the things he's experienced as a junker, like just going into houses and cleaning them out and clearing them out. And being an independent author myself, I just said, hey, if you had $500 or maybe $1,000 and you felt like hiring even a ghostwriter if you don't want to do the writing yourself, you could put out, stories from a junker, things you wouldn't believe. And if you packaged that right, I believe there'd be a market for it. If nothing else, you get to tell some really cool stories for yourself and for your friends and family, and you can put them in a cool book format, and you'll always have that for your entire life, and your estate will own it for 70 years after you pass away. That's cool. That is really cool to be able to say you've done it. Showing people your website and that they can buy books there is really cool. Showing people your Amazon page when you start getting reviews and they're pouring in. It's a different conversation that you get to have with people if you have written books, if you're an independent author, if you've got novels or short stories or whatever, children's books, whatever you're writing. Like, it's just really cool. And in the back of your mind, you always have that. You have created, you have put something out there in the world. And that's really cool to do regardless of whatever happens with it. And on that note, if you stick with it, keep writing, keep publishing independently, you sort of are giving yourself opportunity that could always take off at any time. You're sort of buying a lottery ticket, and yeah, it's not likely you're going to win the lottery in your lifetime, but this is an investment in yourself. It's pretty much passive. Once you get through the initial upfront costs with publishing, with indie publishing, you're just letting what you've created sit out there, and people buy it when they buy it, they don't when they don't. But you don't really have to do a ton to, get that ebook created, the paperback file, print on demand, the audiobook file just ready to go for anybody who wants to pick it up. And by keeping that out there in the world, at any point as you publish more stuff, as you talk to different people, as you network, who knows? It could take off. You could be in the minority and start making money off of the books you've published. It is very possible. It is within the realm of realistic that could happen. And by you putting a book out there, or 2 books, or 5, or 10, or whatever you end up getting to, you do give yourself that next lottery ticket. So to wrap things up, it can be expensive to be an indie author, and that's why it's important when you are looking to publish that you do your research, put a lot of effort in up front on who's going to edit your work, where the book cover is going to come from, who's going to do the ebook formatting, audiobook, paperback, whatever it is. How much money are you going to put into physical marketing materials, digital marketing materials, all of that. Come up with a game plan, set a budget, stick to your budget. Do not go over, do not go into debt, stick to it. Do it as cheaply as possible for the quality that you need for your market, for your readers, for your own edification. But do it on a budget and produce the best thing you can within that budget. And that is your lottery ticket. That'll wrap up this episode. If you like the content I've been putting out, you want to hear more about technology use, writing, mental health, and various things that I'll talk about, subscribe down below. Hit the thumbs up on this video if you have liked it, and I will catch you all next time.